Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. This post is my New Year's resolution. Now, most of you who know me know that I've been in mental health for over 20 years, and I love it. I've spent my entire professional career helping people improve their mental health by learning how to experience, analyze, and interpret their world as accurately as possible. Now, most people don't think about mental health that way, but our mental health absolutely depends on our ability to assess and respond to the barrage of information that is constantly coming at us from the world. That is why the events of the last year, and especially how it has played out in social media, has been very challenging for me. Fake or skewed news from all angles, bad actors who purposefully manipulate the truth to divide us. Irresponsible and inaccurate memes float around from who knows where and spread faulty information across the internet. Seriously, it makes my head want to explode because I know how damaging this can be in so many different ways. I have know that I myself have struggled to keep my composure watching these things play out on social media. I've seen relationships get damaged, even severed, where people aren't talking to each other anymore. And it's because we have forgotten how to communicate effectively, which is really hard to do electronically. But even when we're speaking to each other, we have lost the art of persuasion, of negotiation, or even how to seek common ground for people who think differently than we do. So I began to question, why am I even on social media anymore if it's so distressing to me? Like many, I tuned out and stayed away for a while, and then I considered giving it up altogether. But I recently had a change of heart and decided to go another direction. So in 2019, I am going to learn how to harness the power of the internet and social media for good. I'm going to be doing my best to provide information about psychology and mental health topics and try to help people have a better understanding of what mental health really is. Now, I'm not trying to be your counselor. I'm not trying to psychoanalyze anybody. In fact, I can't do that ethically. But I can provide an education on significant mental health topics that are important to everyone. This is the same educational material that I have been providing professionally for years, but you get all this information for free. So I hope that you will join me in 2019 and that I can help you and me have better health in the upcoming year. Now, I know that the average attention span on social media and with videos especially is very low. So, for those of you who need to go now, bye-bye, happy 2019, and I'll see you in the upcoming weeks. For those of you who have a little bit of time and don't mind hanging around, I want to give you a taste of what you can expect in the upcoming weeks. And I promise you, if you stick around, you'll learn something, okay? We're going to start our first lesson with understanding a little bit more about mental health. Now, this is a lemon, right? You know what a lemon is. We all know what one is. When the world gives us a lemon, we call upon our previous experiences with lemons. We remember what people have taught us, and we remember our own experience. We know it's a fruit, we know that it's super sour, and we know that it's yellow. Now we're going to try this same experience through the lens of someone with poor mental health. So hang on. Okay. I hope you can still see me. So we have put a lens. Now this cover over my camera lens represents poor mental health. And a person with poor mental health skews or distorts information that's coming into them from the world. So it's kind of just a representation. Now, the information that you're seeing isn't as clear. I look different and distorted, and so does the lemon. Clarity, proportions, and colors are all off. Now it becomes a little more difficult to make an accurate assessment. So, for instance, it gets harder for you to tell what color the lemon is. Generally, there are two schools of thought. One group recognizes that it's a lemon, knows that the truth is out there, and even though it looks different to them, they will say the lemon is yellow. But there's another school of thought. These people say, I trust my senses. I have to operate on my new current reality, which is looking through this lens. So the lemon is orange. Well, neither one of those answers is more right than the other. It just depends on the way you're interpreting this new reality. So go ahead and while I'm discussing this, put in the comments which school of thought you are in. Which is it, yellow or orange? So comment with a Y or an O, or type out the words, or drop an emoji that shows which school of thought you fall in. Now, remember, you're looking through a filter that represents poor mental health. This filter could represent a mental illness. Someone suffering from debilitating depression, psychosis, dementia, or under the influence of addictive substances often experience skewed reality. They might see or hear things that aren't there or believe things that aren't true. And based on this faulty information, they make determinations about the world and take actions that are flawed. And sometimes those actions have devastating consequences. But mental health isn't only concerned with mental illness. All of us have our own filters that skew the accuracy with which we view the world. Speaking of filters, if you haven't put down the color that you think the lemon is, whether it's yellow or orange, do it now before I'm done talking, please. So, while diagnosing mental illness is a part of mental health, much more frequently, the filters that distort our reality are created by common mistakes that we all make in how we take in and analyze what the world presents to us. Faulty information, things that we've learned incorrectly, and sometimes through no fault of our own. It skews our understanding and therefore how we act on that information. So, for instance, if you were taught that 2 plus 2 equals 5, and everyone in your world said 2 plus 2 equals 5, when someone confronted you and said, no, actually 2 plus 2 equals 4, you would push back against that. You might think that they're crazy. You can't believe how stupid they are, and it has to be that the Russians or Fox News or CNN got to them. Many times we are completely unaware that our filters contain faulty information, like biases or prejudices that have no basis in fact, but have been passed on from generation to generation, masquerading as the truth for so long that it colors our decisions about entire groups of people. Other times, we have to make decisions about new and strange things that we haven't experienced before. And evolutionary instincts create curiosity and cautionary responses, but overblown, that same anxiety or fear can distort all of our assessments. Sometimes our filters color how we analyze our own self worth. Damaging self talk, things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not thin enough, or I haven't achieved enough. All of these are faulty messages. We probably learned them a long time ago, but we hold on to them and they seep in and become part of the fabric of our reality. They color how we see the world, how we see others, and how we see ourselves. They color how we respond to the world, to others, and ourselves. Much of our own misery, depression, anxiety, and other issues that stress us out can be traced right back to our dirty filters. Faulty information damages our ability to experience the world accurately. Faulty information damages mental health. So, the proliferation of faulty information in the internet and in our world, along with either an inability or lack of motivation to analyze the realness of the messages coming into us, contribute to deteriorating mental health individually and collectively. Come on, if you haven't yet, tell me what color you think this lemon is. Is there a certain truth out there about the nature of lemons, or is it what we perceive in the moment that is most important? One last chance to let me know what color the lemon is. If you said green, you would be right. You would have accurately assessed the situation and given me the right answer. Or maybe you just had a really lucky guess. But this is a yellow lemon and this is a green lemon. Yep, it's green. Surprised? Let's think about that for just one moment. You chose a side. If you did, you applied your own logic, you based your choice on previous learning and experience, combined with pressure from me to put an answer, to form an opinion, to choose a side. It's yellow or it's orange. And once you chose that side, people on the other camp were wrong or mistaken somehow. But opinions aren't facts. It's really easy, isn't it, to have the right answer, even though you don't have all the information to know the truth. It's also a reminder that people, even some people that you know and trust, might have their own reasons for manipulating you into believing that something is true when it's not. Just like this example, we often form opinions and make important decisions based on incomplete or inaccurate information. Since the decisions that we make impact how we act, and those actions determine consequences and eventually our entire life's happiness, isn't it worth spending just a little time every week to make sure that we're doing our absolute best to think, analyze, decide, and act in the most effective and beneficial ways? Mental health is important to all of us. You don't have to be diagnosed with an illness to care about your physical health, right? We still eat right, we try to exercise because those things are important to our health, whether or not we've been diagnosed with a disease. And the same is true for mental health. We have to feed our brains and we have to exercise them so that we maintain our ability to think critically, challenge beliefs that are causing us problems, and view our world as accurately as we possibly can. Now, if you join me in the upcoming year, we're going to go through some exercises just like this one. You might learn something cool about the nature of human beings. You might get some skills that help you communicate or persuade a little bit better. Or you might just learn about yourself and have a little bit happier life. Whatever it is, I hope that you will join me, and I hope that 2019 is a year full of love and peace and good mental health for us all.